Welcome to DRTSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello. And second day, we are with wonderful guests, Peddalu Pujulu Gauraniyulu Professor K. Purushotham Reddy Garu, B.V. Subba Garu. This day, the World Water Day, and what an important day for DRTSPR channels. It took birth on environmental issues, and what a better way having wonderful guests on this channel. So straight away, we'll get into the subject as they have designated this World Water Day for peace. We don't know what peace is all about because India, through Panchashil, when Nehruji was there, we were always speaking on or in terms of peace and tranquility. When we go back into the freedom movement, Mahatma Gandhi ji taught us non-violent way of achieving things. That is what peace is all about. Then we said, Hey Ram. We start with this. Sir, your 4 words before I show you your PPT and other images.
Welcome to everybody. And this is the 4th World Water Day we are conducting through this channel. We started during the COVID period and we are continuing this. Last year we had good number of speakers, young, old, India, Africa, and the most important thing what I felt is it's very good that, it's a very encouraging and inspiring thing. International body comes out with a theme for every year. Yes. And we all conduct on the same theme, debate on the same theme, deliberate on the same theme. We do not know whether we are implementing the same. So last year we had, you can show the PPT because these things are there. See, 23, it was accelerating the change. Accelerating the change. What change? You see, accelerating the change 23, 22, making the invisible visible, groundwater recharging. And if that be the case in 20, why Bangalore government is drilling something like 400 recharging pits across the city? That means we have not honored, respected the international theme. 21 is valuing the water. You see, we are never teaching the students, communities, and the water users on the true value of resources. Our planners are also lacking in this. So this year it says World Water Day, leveraging water for peace. And many of them, the posters which I received, they were talking mostly on trans-boundary river systems and the conflicts. Telugulo oka సామెత ఉన్నది, ఊరు గట్టుకాడనే షురు అవుతుంది వాటర్ కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్, ఎక్కడో ఉండదు వాటర్ కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అన్నది. Okay, and I am yet to come across a theme where the local water activists are talking on Kaveri issue between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Krishna issue, Godavari issue, and of course we have several issues with Pakistan, and we also have several issues with Nepal. But one thing I say, I believe this International Day, it gives an opportunity to reconnect ourselves, evolve ourselves, our skills on the specific themes. So I look forward for the groups which may commit on water conflicts this year. There is no evaluation of the themes, what happened last year or every year. At least this year, let us start looking into, let us take 10-year themes and start evaluating each government, including the local government. Next, please. You keep on changing, sir, because that makes easy. Okay?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
please change. Yes. You see, the conflict comes either water gets contaminated or it gets depleted. In our country, the extreme left slide is the industry which I visited and took photographs in 92. They make ice cubes with fresh water and also with contaminated. They sell contaminated ice cubes to the mortuary and vegetable storages. Okay? And there are several lakes in and around Hyderabad where you can see the salt in the depth of the lake. So 22 was the 22 was the making invisible, bringing groundwater. Where is the groundwater today? Next, please, sir. You see, the most important thing and which touched me is this black and white photograph. I took it in 1974 while visiting Jaisalmer. That influenced me. What happens if the water gets depleted? The primary impact is on women. Okay. It was a social platform in the village when it was an open. Mother-in-laws had different time. Daughter-in-laws had different. It's a beautiful. When we switched over to the hand pump, the regimented water management started. The conflict started because mother-in-law may thrash her. So everybody wants to go first. And finally, the tanker water supply, it aggravated the conflict among the women and several people died. Next, please. So I'm just showing this, how a change in the form of a resource will have a social impact. And this was a popular picture in 2000 where no groundwater. And this is, I took it in 1990, Hussain Sagar with algal bloom. This is my adjoining district, Nalgonda, which suffers from water contamination. And the future is only thing. I hope we will successfully get a bucket of water. That is what a lady prepares her husband for a greater conflict. This is the situation. And you look at South Africa, we shouted. It entered Bangalore. Tomorrow it's you. Next, please. Next, sir, please.
Yeah.
You see, this is 1990 contaminated water for Pinkoti residents. Okay. We had something like 4,000 lakes in and around Hyderabad. And this is 22. Court directs HMDA to survey all lakes, submit report within 2 weeks. And my friend, Dr. K.L. Vyas, filed in 95, got the order in 96 on the list of lakes. And 22 is still court says HMDA, you work. Don't worry. We always honor the court and look forward to the directives of the court. 23, 24. HC gives government 1 month time to restore certificates. Where are we heading? We are not even able to achieve our own local targets and goals. Okay? This is a shameful thing. Even in 24, the court case started in 96. It is for the people to think of. It's not for the governments. Next, please. Yeah. Finally, I say, 45% of the people in the world, they do not have sanitation. You know, in Ghana, they release the night soil in the plastic cover and then throw it on the street. You see in any parts of Ghana. Okay, there is no environmental sanitation. This is in 1990. What kills, Hussain Sagar, fish in the Hussain Sagar? And today also every year we are spending 5 crore rupees on whose kitty it is going. We are not rich. And my good old friend, called Ginny and asked a glass of water. What he says, don't ask stupid things. It's in your hands. Wake up, get sensitized, question the system, and you become part of the change. Let us look into these water conflicts at our local level. Let us try to solve them. Next, please. Next, sir. Yeah. Seriously, no attempt has been made neither by central state authorities, including academic research and training institutions in the country, on water conflicts. And water conflicts continue to escalate the human conflicts. Water conflicts are not, for the Krishna board to sit and discuss, and Godavari board to discuss. Water should unite the people. Rivers should unite the people. It is people bridging the people to people, confidence that can only create a harmony through the water. So water is life. And we should know finally that we will conserve only what we love. We will love only what we understand. We will understand only what we are taught and how we are taught. And my final appeal to all the academic institutions across the country and also the social activists who are involved in the education and sensitizing program, be specific on your communication, what you are saying. Evaluate your communication to what extent you could influence people. Evaluate yourself, how far you are progressing. Water is life. It's a journey. From Stone Age period to Cyber Age, we have come. But we have not understood the dynamics of water, the umbilical cord connectivity of human beings. It's time for us to think of this and resolve the conflicts wherever it is arising. Thank you so much, my dear Shivaprasad Garu. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Anna, it was a wonderful presentation. Short, precise. The way you have sensitized us. You have to think of the past, what we have achieved, and then we should go into the present. Wonderful. Purushotham Anna, I think Anna will be better off to.
At the outset, I wish to compliment my friend Subba for laying the path which will enable us to pursue and come to certain conclusions. Water is the biggest input in agriculture, in horticulture, in dairy farming. Water is basically needed to ensure the sustainability of the livelihoods of the people. It is also needed for health and sanitation and so many other things. Having understood the significance of water to our lives, we the people, definitely we have to take certain concrete and difficult decisions. For example, I wish to point out, when we are talking about irrigation, in our country, irrigation means only flood irrigation. That is, we build a dam, then have a left canal, right canal, and then multiple, other canals, a network of canals, and finally, when the water comes to our field, it is nothing but flooding. The engineers and the politicians in this country, they never bothered to educate, sensitize, and also come up with better irrigation management. For example, I have visited a few countries on this issue, and there I have noticed that the irrigation department itself, they take the responsibility of leveling the land, and they take, they go to the level of distributing water. In fact, they coordinate with the agriculture departments and design the cropping pattern so that maximum utilization of the moisture can be obtained. I have seen in Turkey drip irrigation, mist irrigation, fog irrigation, and they went to the extent of ensuring that there is abundant organic matter in the soil itself, because that retains moisture for a longer period. In India, we committed too many blunders in the name of green revolution. By using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, we have ensured the utilization of the micronutrients in the soil. And because of this negative, destructive pattern of agriculture, the percentage of organic matter in the soil is virtually zero. Unfortunately, as a result of the utilization of chemical pesticides, we have destroyed microorganisms in the soil, and today our soils are virtually dead. So we need to reverse this. Now, the second point, another important point is, we are using this water to grow water-intensive crops, like paddy, like sugarcane, oil palm, and several other crops, which will make the rich richer and which have industrial applications. For example, sugarcane, it is supplied to the sugar mills, and there is a waste known as molasses, and that molasses is used for the manufacturing of alcohol, which is a luxury, and we, the people living on this planet Earth right now, we cannot afford. We need to ensure that everybody's livelihood also is taken care of, particularly look at Africa and the drier regions of India, right? Look at the situation in Karnataka and South Telangana. Right now, the farmers don't, even though they have transplanted, they went in for paddy, but right now there is no water and it's a pitiable situation. So we need to say no to water-intensive crops and go in for more sustainable crops like millets, jawar, mostly rain-fed. And occasionally, if the rain gets delayed, we need to give one irrigation and nothing more. A third point is, we are, converting food grains into feed. Now, this is a luxury which today's world cannot afford. For example, in Amazon, they're feeding maize to the bulls, and then they slaughter those animals, export beef, or they, and looking at the hamburgers they produce, they think that is development. But at what cost? Should the world eat burgers at the cost of Amazon forest, at the cost of the needed food? Billions don't have food, and a few people eat luxurious food. So conversion of food grains into beef, into pork, chicken, and mutton. That conversion of food grains into feed to be fed to the animals and birds and consumed, that as a matter of policy, it should be done away with. I know these are very difficult situations, but then humanity should learn to adjust their lifestyle, because we have exceeded the limits of nature on many a front. So this, we normally in the scientific language, we call it as the Anthropocene. And since we have exceeded, we need to retrace our One more point is definitely ethanol has certain values when it comes to as an alternative to fossil fuels. But what today's world is doing is they are using rice, they are using maize, and this is nothing but conversion of food grains into alcohol. So even that has to be done away with. Lastly, as my friend Subba Garu many a time pointed out, we are giving water to the industries. Okay, they use it, but they don't bother to treat it. Water has to be treated and used multiple times. This wastewater management, it's a big subject by itself. Today's technology enables the treatment. You have bioremediation and so many other methods. So it has to be treated and multiple times used. The same thing when it comes to ensuring the flow in the river. For example, Telangana government right now it's talking about making a Thames out of Musi or developing Musi on the lines of Thames. They need to understand that to make Musi as good as Thames, it calls for a revival or revising so many public policies. The entire wastewater management policy has to be given a second look. We need to revisit and redesign. We don't have, even in the IT sector today, if you go to Nanakram, Buda and all those areas, there is no underground drainage. What are we telling the world? We are showcasing it as occasionally our politicians talk about making a Dallas of Hyderabad. Or they have no idea how to improve our ecosystems. Finally, when we are discussing about water, every individual, every human being, they need to be very, very conscious, frugal in the usage of water, and they need to realize their responsibility. Protection of environment is everybody's duty. Article 51A very clearly needs to be understood. We tend to blast the governments, political parties, and we also blame the judiciary for its inactivity. And all the governmental bodies, we do it very easily, but we forget that we the people have a much greater responsibility. Eternal vigilance is the price we need to pay if we have to protect our different ecosystems, particularly water. Nobody has a right to pollute. Pollution means adding poison to the water. And the person who adds poison to the water, he can be booked, he or she or the institution or the industry or whoever it is. They can be booked under Section 302, which is a punishable crime. How come nothing is being done? We have the Prevention of Water Pollution Bill, and we created an institution known as the Pollution Control Board. And so far, come on, let them come out with facts and figures. How many people in this country have been prosecuted for polluting the river? Not just Musi, but every river in this country. Where is the punishment? And frankly, we have not realized. We think that there is plenty of water. In fact, there is not much of water. And Bangalore should be an eye-opener. It's not just Bangalore. Today it is Bangalore. Yesterday it was Chennai. So every metropolitan city in this country, there is not much water because we have not done our homework in saving it. And neither we are frugal, wise enough to manage the water that is supplied to our homes and to our hotels. International days like these, they are basically intended to sensitize the world, to galvanize the people who are living on this planet right now. and to compel them to think on the seriousness of these problems so that there will be a convergence of ideas and thoughts and ultimately action so that every person in this entire world, we all think alike and we have a common goal, a common cause, and we need to wage a common struggle for the common future of everyone on this planet Earth. It's not just human beings, but every form of life requires water for survival. We often complain that monkeys and, peacocks and other animals are coming from the forest to the nearby villages. But have we ever bothered to create some facility for them to drink water in the forest or in their habitats? We have become selfish and we are destroying other forms of life. We are destroying ourselves. Anna, please carry on.
Subba, I think Anna is very clear. He has given a loud and clear message, not just to Telangana, but to India and the world.
And out of my 45 years of experience and all, I'm humbly appealing to the system, particularly to the decision makers and the policy makers. You see, in the entire career, I was only talking to people who are executives. There is no point in training the executive because he is not a decision maker. I think all the decision makers, bureaucrats, they must once again undergo the training on sustainable development and on particular issues. Even the policy makers, including the chief minister. Otherwise, they go with their whims and fancies and, destroy things. Water, unfortunately, is controlled and commanded by three vested groups: elected representatives, greedy, corrupt officers, and always looking for more money, the contractors. This is the triangular nexus that is killing the water. And finally, I say people should think of it. It's people. When everybody has more than 80% of water in the body, how can you afford to neglect the body around? It's a shame on our part. We should teach our children. It is not through the conflicts that we achieve peace. Even the peacemaking forces of UN is failing at the international level. It is a love, affection, cooperation, and team spirit for a greater cause will promote peace through the water. A sense of sharing. What is that water tells us? A sense of sharing, a sense of responsibility, a sense of belongingness. This lake belongs to me. I belong to this lake. I belong to this river. Let all the Hyderabadis come and rally along the Musi, say, it's my river. And finally, we are all trustees. We got all these resources from our ancestors, and we have the mandatory responsibility to pass on healthy, productive water resources to coming generations. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Before we wind up, I'll just show how individuals could create conservation even in desert areas in India. When they could do it individually at their level, how is that as a state we are failing, as a country we are failing? Mr. Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, आप सोचिए, आपके भाषा में ही आपके सेक्रेटरी से आपसे बात करने के लिए बोलिए, क्योंकि इतने लोग, मैं बता रहा हूं, ये लोग हमारी पानी बचाने की इतनी प्रक्रिया और उन हर तरीके से कम खर्चे के साथ कर रहे हैं. आप सरकार में रह के क्यों आप विफल हुए हैं? why did you fail being in the governance to conserve water or to make every citizen water conscious, or to see that there are no disputes in between the states on the sharing of river waters, or for that matter, even in your own colonies, because we are given water at not at particular time, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And today also water day, I woke up at 4:30. I was trying to conserve water. When I was washing my car, I have seen to that there is no cement here, concrete. Whatever I did, that went into the earth, Mother Earth. Same way, when it rains from the rooftop, you see that you harvest water in your own way, in your own compound. You have that open area where it is not at all concretized. Simple and methods will help us to conserve. And whatever you clean, that pipe, you have a T-junction, other part you allow it to go into the drain, the other part you see to that you harvest it in your own compound, so that your compound will have a lot of water. Like that, the street, if we start doing it, you will have a lot of water. Not only that, why should every house should have a bore? Like water distribution, why not we have for one colony only one bore? Then you have the supply line. As and when you need only, you use that water. And for that, you need to charge also, so that they will understand the value of water. So those bore wells also should not be dug. But because of these politicians, corrupt administrators, officers, and those revenue officials who are supposed to give, they are giving permission helter-skelter. And why do you need that high-rise structures in suburban and urban areas? Why are you allowing such type of migration from villages to semi-urban and urban areas when you are investing lakhs of crores on irrigation projects? That means there is something amiss, that water is not at all reaching rural areas. Instead, you have converted that, you have changed the land use to convert agriculture lands into farm sites and real estates, so that there is no conservation at all. I'm just going to show you, when these are wonderful Indians who are always there in India, how is that we could not adopt such type of wonderful methods in our day-to-day this thing. I'm showing this wonderful people. The river from the sky. These 8 water warriors are teaching India to harvest rain. Mr. Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, अपने लोग ही है भाई, कहाँ जा रहे हो आप? अपने लोग ही है, अपने टेक्नोलॉजी है यहाँ पर. Ayyappa Masagi has developed thousands of rainwater harvesting projects across 11 states and has also created over 600 lakes in India. Why are you not utilizing his experience? And here on our own channel, we have Professor K. Purushotham Reddy garu, V.V. Subba garu. They are legends in this. Why don't you make them to become part and parcel of policy making, right from the state to the central level? Only then. And you see, Zanrain Man's, Vishwanath has dedicated his life to helping Bengaluru adopt RWH through his rainwater club and million wells for Bengaluru project. Still, Bengaluru is going dry. Why? Because the apathy which is there from the government of that day, that is the reason. And then the citizens concerned also should be blamed. They are not water conscious. How precious water is, you are not understanding. Rajendra Singh helped build 8,600 johats that collect and provide rainwater to over 1,000 villages across Rajasthan. He has come on our channel also. He was also feeling sad. Now they are trying to link reverse Dr. Reddy, nothing but contracts and commissions. That is a big conspiracy. If that goes ahead, this is what he says. In Rajasthan, see, desert area, you have water. Likewise, Colonel Shashikant Dalvi has set up over 150 RWH rural water harvesting projects in Pune's residential societies and has helped transform the water maps of 100 villages in Maharashtra. Amla Ruya helped 100 drought-stricken villages in Rajasthan set up 200 kunds that collect 1 crore liters of drinking water from the rain every year. Our own people, Subhajit Mukherjee's rupees 2,500 rainwater harvesting system has helped save thousands of liters of water in Mumbai schools, parks, and housing societies. I'm just showing, many are there. Sikandar Meera Nayak has helped hundreds of farmers all over India harvest rain through his low-cost borewell recharge technique. Our own people. Kalpana Ramesh of the Rainwater Project has been instrumental in using rainwater harvesting to revive several lakes, ponds, and borewells in Hyderabad. Our people are there. Why are we not taking them into policy decisions? This is what beats my intelligence. I don't understand. Anna, we have roughly 3 minutes. I want your valuable comments, both of you, Anna.
No, basically, whenever we are discussing these subjects on an annual basis, we seem to be discussing the same things because there is no effort on the part of the political parties because it is not in their priority. That is, these are not reflected in their manifestos. And therefore, they simply don't bother. And this is not just a phenomenon of India, but what we notice is everywhere in the world, whether it is America, UK, France, Russia, China, everywhere. Environment is not the top priority for the politicians, and they are invariably in the grip of the corporates. So that particular, design has to be broken. That is why we, the people, we need to be more responsible. We need to be vigilant, observe all these things, and throw away such political parties which are indifferent to the sufferings of the people.
Right.
Subba.
Subhana, please. Wind it up, Anna.
Yeah, see, the most important thing is, unless people awake and realize their responsibilities, it's very difficult. Water, Central says it's a state subject. When state bungled Kaleshwaram, where was the Central? Today it comes and talks. But it is the people who should have question. So what my appeal is, water is a people's agenda, and people should make the political parties to make it as a core agenda for their elections.
Wonderful.
If people cannot make it, then people should not cry.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
People must insist for water as the core political manifesto in the coming Lok Sabha elections.
Yeah.
That's it.
Vote those
Thank
parties.
you.
Yeah, vote those parties who believe in preserving or conserving water and who understand the utility of water. Don't allow lakes, nalas, or water bodies to be encroached in your area, and don't buy any flat or any housing or any farm plot if that real estate company is encroaching those water bodies, because you should become responsible. Only that is how you are going to save it for the present, so that something is left for the future for our kith and kin. Otherwise, we need to suffer like what is happening in Bengaluru. Many other cities in India will go the same way, and the